Hi everyone, I'm Tom and this is Rach.
Hello.
And we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons Dungeon Scrawlers Heroes of Undermountain, which is a real-time competitive maze drawing game where we're going to be delving into these dungeons, fighting monsters, finding treasure, solving relic puzzles, all sorts of things, basically by drawing a line through the dungeon. Yeah, there are loads of maps included in the game. There are 10 maps included, like all double-sided things, different configurations. It does recommend like just going through some in order. You usually play 3 maps in a game of it, but it's quite quick. It's about a 15-minute game, if that really. Because we're going to be drawing a line. You basically don't take your pen off. You draw a line through the whole maze, doing things in the rooms that you go into, and whoever defeats the boss first, at that point, everyone stops. But that's the kind of timed element of it. And I think some of the maps as well have a specific timer. Like, actually, we are going to be doing map 8, which has got a 2-minute timer on it. So the different things that are on the maps. See, there are some that will be in everything. So there are spells, these purple shapes here. When you come into a room with a spell, you need to basically draw out the shape of the spell before you can move on to something else. When you've been in a room, you need to interact with everything in the room before you move on. If at the end of the game, you see that you've missed something out in a room, you lose a point for everything that you missed out on. So I need to go to the other spell here. Then I've got a treasure over here. Treasures have got yellow outlines. You basically need to draw around the yellow outline to claim the treasure. The relics just need to be crossed off, just have a line through them. You don't lose points for touching the walls.
They're not relics.
Oh, what are they?
Plants.
Plants.
Aren't they?
The rubrics in the box, I think. So you don't lose points for touching the walls, but if you were to say, like, shave a corner just like that, you lose a point for doing that. But that's okay. If you completely ignore walls, and I was to just go through here, everything after that point would not matter. So if you do that early on, you've basically made sure you score nothing for that level. The relic rooms have these numbers, and once you come into the room, you need to go from stone to stone in number order. You get a point for each 3 stones in the room that you did correctly. So there were 6 stones here, I'd get 2 points for that at the end. And then come out following your unbroken line. I know I broke the line. I'm showing it you. There are monsters to defeat. You defeat a monster by completely colouring over it, and you get a point for that. Point for the exotic plants, point for the treasures, point for every spell you cast. There are these orbs that aren't in all of them. To complete the orb, you need to shade in the top part of it, and then you claim the top marker of that colour, so pink or blue. They're worth decreasing amount of points. Depending on how quick you are, you can claim more than one of each colour if you get to the rooms properly. Is there anything else in this particular one? There is also the boss, who works exactly the same as a little monster. It's just going to take you longer to colour them in. The boss is worth 4 points if you manage to defeat the boss. That will cause the end of the dungeon. So it's not timed as such. There's not a hard time limit. It's defined by a player getting to the end of the dungeon and defeating the boss first. When that happens, everyone else has to stop, and at that point, you don't lose points for the last room that you were in. If we see, like, earlier on in the dungeon, you missed bits, you lose a point for every element you didn't do. And yeah, if you cut in corners and things like that. So basically, do you want to just race to the boss and try and do what you can on the way and not give anyone a chance? Or do you want to try and just get as many points as possible and forget the 4 points for doing the boss, make the most points from your efficient path? But yeah, it's all about kind of judging what the other players are doing. But each level is very short anyway, you know. They're based on the box time, about 5 minutes. There are more elements in the other maps, but we'll talk about them as we get to them, eh? Are you ready to dungeon scroll, Rach? I'm worried that my hand might be in the way of where I am in the dungeon, but we'll do our best to show you as much as we can. Are you ready on the start, Rach?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, we haven't got powers. We haven't got characters. So decide who we're going to be. Here you go, Rach. Rach is the barbarian. You can pick one for me. I am the ranger. So the ranger, exotic plants I collect are worth 2 points instead of 1. Rach, when fighting monsters, she only needs to cover their head to defeat them, not the whole thing. Yeah, so I want to go for plants, right? Yeah, the other ones we've seen are for making things easier to colour in. Because exotic plants aren't really hard to colour in anyway, but they're worth more points. So we'll see what happens. Are you ready, Rach? On the start space?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do a spell. I'm going to do another spell. I'm going to go around the border of this treasure in here to try and collect all these plants because I want plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up here, get some more treasure. I really know. I'm assuming this is taking me some more plants. The orb I want to colour in the top of, don't I? And get the pink marker. And then I've got to defeat minions. I've got to colour them all in. And then spell. There's another spell here. And then I've got to go around this treasure. And then, come on, where are the rare plants? The exotic plants that are worth more points to me. So yeah, maybe it's not in my interest to kind of go for the boss. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I want these plants. Oh, I've kind of gone a way that's taken me away from the boss accidentally. Monster there, treasure there. I'm probably going a bit too slow actually. Oh no, I've come back on myself. Pink. Get a token. Which way do I want to go? The way that doesn't take me back to rooms I've been in before, I think. Cover that treasure. I feel like Rach is at the end.
Done.
Oh, okay. So I didn't get anywhere near the boss, but did I get enough points from all of the stuff that I've been doing? And then pass your paper to the left.
Here you go, Marty.
Let Marty mark yours. Marty's too busy listening to cars arriving. And then mark the other player's work. So just remember the plants on mine, Rach.
Is everything else 1 point?
Yeah, I think so. Like the relics are a point for every 3, aren't they? A point for every 3 stones that were in the room you did. So Rach, she did monsters 1, 2, 3. She's done a 6 relic there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The dogs.
Oh.
Here. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. A 9 room is 3, so 32. And then the boss is 4. That's a big 36. How's it going? Over in my dungeon, Rach. Are the plants saving it for me?
Probably.
Oh yeah, I haven't done your...
Yeah, but I thought we just had them on at the end.
Oh yeah.
Is that a spell in there?
Yeah, that's a spell. Treasure. Essie spell. And 1 minion.
Did you get that?
Yeah. If you coloured in the minion, you get it, but you don't get penalised for not finishing the room.
How many points did you get there?
I got 8 points in these, and you got 9 points in yours. Yeah, you got a first and a second, and I got a first and a third. I just wasn't going anywhere near the blue ones. I should have probably come up here. Could have even done the boss, maybe. I just kind of got distracted and went the wrong way, and then realised I was going back to the entrance. 46, 1 point in it, but it's not over yet. It's your total of all of the 3 rooms. So that is map number 2. Well, our first map, but it is map number 2. Put that off to the side for a sec. Here is map number 4. So this does not have orbs in it. Can you grab the keys though, right? It's 2 keys of each type in a 2-player game. The game does come, by the way, these aren't the pens the game comes with. It comes with your standard, little pens with the...
A shame because
eraser.
People have got colours, so you would think
yeah.
it would give you colour pens, but it doesn't give you colour pens.
These, check out on my Twitter. I retweeted it, I think. Suzanne, roll and write expert, has done thorough research on roll and write pens, and I thought this is the first use of them since they've arrived. But yeah, so far, so great for your dry erase choice. Shuttle art. Other forms of art are available. So this time, I think the only new bit are keys. So if you go through a key of a particular colour, grab a token of that key. If there aren't any available, tough luck, you don't get it. There are skeleton keys. I can't see any on this map, but if you see a skeleton key symbol, you can take any that you like. There are rooms throughout the dungeon, and that's a skeleton key symbol. If you have the key required to unlock that door, you can pass through it as if there was no door there. If there is a door there and you go through it, it's like going through a wall, and everything from that point onwards does not count. So make sure you've got the keys before going through it. Some doors, like the door to the boss, there's basically 2 doors. You've got to have both of those keys to get to the boss. So there's a bit more like...
But can you take 1 key of each colour?
Can you?
Yeah, it says that.
Okay.
So suppose in a 4-player game, there's only 3 keys. So you will get locked out of something, but we won't get locked out of something. In a 3-player game, there's only 2 as well, so you would get locked out of something. Yeah. So really, we don't really stand.
So, a bit more to think about, and you can start from where you like. There's 4 starting points in this one, so the plants are still good to me. I'm going to start in this corner, I think, because I can see a plant. You having to think about where to start, Rach. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Dungeon scroll. So there's a nice couple of plants here. Coming down along the maze. Get me some treasure. Get me... Is it just a line through the keys?
Yeah.
Get me a red key. And then where am I? Oh, you can go back the way you've came, by the way. You have to keep drawing the line, but you are allowed to backtrack. It just makes more sense, you know. Go to a new bit if you can. Okay. Right, some relics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can barely make these out as me going to these different relic places. But I did it, honest. Okay, doing a big S spell. That's a monster. Okay, we've got over here, we've got a yellow key. And some treasure. No, some plants. A monster to fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I can't see the way to the boss. I feel like I'm going to get stuck just going...
Chasing keys.
Oh. So I can go through that door. I have to do the spell.
Do we need both of these keys?
No, I think you just go through one or the other on that one.
What? Okay.
Because you just choose which door to go through, wouldn't you? There's a monster. There's that. Does this count as the same room? I don't really know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm being a bit greedy. I'm coming back down. I've got red and yellow. I've killed the boss. Correct us if I'm wrong about that, but I feel like you just need one of the locks, right? You wouldn't need both You wouldn't need both keys to get through.
That'd be a bit mean, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be hard to get through, like even the starting bit, wouldn't it?
These you would need.
Yeah, the boss you definitely need those 2 keys. I just kind of accidentally, the path I was going, I glanced over and got a combination.
Askew.
You went askew?
Couldn't find a key.
Oh. So yeah, it's hard. Like when the first map didn't even have the orbs or anything. We're kind of thinking, well, it's very basic, you know. Like, fair enough, you just fill in a map and crossing off some extra things. But actually, like when you're having to look against not the clock, but against the other players, you're trying to look for, well, where's that key? And now I've got these keys. Where does that take me? It does start to mount up. So Rach has got a monster 1. That's 2, 3, 4. That's a key. 5. Keys aren't points, are they?
No.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
What's
14,
this?
15, 16.
Okay.
17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 32, I think. No orbs in this one. I think Rach should just started on that treasure. When time ran out.
I don't like your pen.
Which one?
Your
My
pen?
big black. Maybe I'm pressing down on it harder. Because it is kind of, it's impossible to tell what I've done in these relic sheets, isn't it?
What these things are.
Oh, because I'm colouring into... Oh, because yours is kind of highlighting them, isn't it? So you can see what they are, yeah. Fair point. But it would be that way with the actual pens as well, right? Yeah. You can kind of see through... You can kind of see through the proper pens. Kinda.
Yeah, you won that one. You got loads of exotic plants.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem...
You get double points for all of those.
Yeah, I feel like the time that as everyone else is like that. When collecting automatic fragments, you can connect them in any order. Yeah. So you would just walk into a relic room and just do a circle and run out. So I suppose that is pretty speedy. Instead of tracing a spell, you can just put a...
If you're doing 6, I'm just like this. Yeah. It's not taking any time.
Instead of tracing a spell, you can draw a small circle inside it. And you only need to draw a line through treasure to collect it. So everyone else's is speeding up drawing slightly. It's all slight, isn't it?
I would say the treasure is more useful than this, because you can just scribble over the monster anyway. It's not taking me hardly any less time to colour a teeny wolf than just colour the head in. Yeah, it
feels a lot more beneficial that I'm getting more points for colouring in certain things.
And like, I was almost at the dragon. I was at the dragon in the next... After I'd gone around the treasure. Yeah. I just happened to be in two treasure room.
So we've got now... I don't think there are any orbs in this one. There are no keys. But what there are loads of dead ends. We have loads of entry and exit spaces. So the entry, you can see, is this kind of circle space, brings you out at the corresponding exit. So part of this game is going to be the speed at which you can identify where the exits are, because there's multiple.
Oh, and there's one there.
So any G entrance will take you to a G exit of your choice. It doesn't work the other way around. You can't walk into an exit and come out the entrance. It's got to be the same letter, and the colour will help you with that as well. Other than that, the basic elements are all there. 4 points for killing a boss, and the boss ends the scroll no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Or do you think just the timer? Yeah, I feel like the timer is what ends this, and not killing a boss. So I'm going to pop a timer on there. I'm going to pop a 2-minute timer, and that's in an awkward place for both of us, isn't it?
Just having a quick glance. Is there a portal?
Yeah, straight away, you're in a room with 3 portals.
I mean, I put one that zips you out of the thing. No.
It's going to be how quickly you can identify these colours as well. I think they're like... I'm not saying it gets...
Can you start from the same place?
I'm not saying it gets towards being like a complicated game, but with 2 minutes on the clock, trying to spot where these colours come out, I think it is throwing... Like, it's only... There are 10 maps in it, I think. And you can play, any combination. It does recommend play them in order first. And I've picked these particular ones, so they were all portrait, because there are landscape ones as well, which if you're not streaming a 2-player game on a landscape format, might not be as much of a consideration for you. Okay, so are you ready, Rach?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start. 3, 2, 1, go. So A brings me out here. I'm going to go along. I'm going to collect exotic fruit. I'm going to go in G. G's going to bring me out here. I'm just going to go down corridors again for more fruit. That takes me to a D. There is a D exit here. I'm going to go for exotic fruit. F brings me out. Is there an F exit? I can see entrances everywhere. There's an F exit. Okay.
I can't see a G there.
Corridors galore. H. There's a boss. Oh, well, why not? We'll kill a boss. Coming up to a minute. You got a minute left?
Well, I've done nothing.
eye brings us out. I don't necessarily want to come out there. Is that the only eye? It might be. Because this room's going to take me ages, and it's only... Oh, actually, there's only 3 things in it. I've got to do a spell. And that can bring me out... I want to go in B. So
I assume I can just kill the heads of bosses.
Yeah. It's just like the earlier levels. It's just colouring in a big thing, isn't it? D,
Where
D,
is there?
D, D, D. Where's the D exit? Have I gone over it and now I can't see it? Oh yes, I have. There's a D exit. Oh, Spell City over here. So if you were the player that really liked spells, you'd come here, just draw a load of circles through them all. G. G exit, please. G.
I'm looking for G as well.
Oh, that's it.
I'm trapped in Portal G for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I came out
There's
G.
only one
but,
G?
There might be... No, there's a G there as well.
Oh.
I think there might only be one I.
No, this... Oh, okay, yeah.
Exit. There's a lot of entrances. But yeah, that like... I was looking for a D for ages and I did find another one, but there was one right there that I'd drawn over before as well.
I would say. Not done very well. But we'll see.
Okay. Pass them over. I think I got a lot of plans done.
That's loads.
I was just going into...
There's loads of really good tunnels.
Yeah, I was just going into portals and coming out.
I was say not fair. Tom's once again got a really good power.
Yeah, I feel like...
Again?
I feel like the player power is pretty strong there. There was no player power in pinball.
I'm supposed to do this now.
I earned that.
This is a nightmare. I can't see.
But you could just go from top to bottom, can't you? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27 is what I get on that one. I think I did get a couple of things besides exotic plants, but only because I was kind of forced to on the way to some more exotic plants. Can you tell Rach is a teacher? Rach is marking my dungeon scroll.
I know when I've done it.
I know.
Done.
It's just that.
Done.
That's a teacher tick. How's it going, Rach?
36.
So yeah, I think in our limited experience, just going by gut feel and not being game designers, I would say that the one that gives you more points, the only ability that gives you more points, is quite... I don't know, maybe there are some maps where, like I suppose this map, it seems like there are fewer exotic plants to get. Maybe that matters for how powerful the ranger is. Maybe our configuration had a lot of possible exotic plants, but it does seem like...
should be balanced no matter what you...
Yeah, it's
what
not...
map you choose. Yeah, there should be a good and a bad thing to each.
It's an easy thing to do anyway. You've only got to put a line through them anyway. And they're kind of easy to get to. So yeah, it feels like maybe that's a bit better than the other ones, whereas the other ones are all about make this thing to draw easier than it is. I'd say probably about the same amount of...
wizard, you've got to draw a circle. Like some of the spells are just as quick as doing a circle.
But I don't know about that.
Not this one.
I think a circle's faster.
I would say this. If you enter at the right thing anyway, you're doing basically a circle anyway.
But I wonder if people are playing like faster than us though as well. That you could just be like trying to zip around this and just trying to scribble it all in.
Maybe.
And like at that point,
we're going pretty quick. Anyway.
At that point, try just doing a little circle instead of like doing the S and stuff. And instead of even looking at that, just doing a circle around all of them and then moving out.
That's probably a really good one. That's probably out of all of them as well, like probably the most useful.
Yeah, doing a line. Yeah, doing a line through is the easiest thing, really, isn't it? But yeah, so they're all, apart from the ranger, they're all about making drawing a little bit easier. Or a little bit quicker, which is what it's all about, because it's, depending on the level, it's generally about the person to trigger the end of the game. That's it, everyone drops pens. And even if there's a time limit, you're all against the clock, and drawing a bit faster is going to help. But yeah, something that is quite plentiful and very easy to draw through anyway, being worth more points, seems like, in our limited experience again, it seems a bit more powerful than that. Seems a lot more powerful than the rest of them. But hey, that doesn't detract from the game itself, though. Hey, it's a 4-player game. You don't even have to have the Ranger in there, or maybe you've played it and had a completely different experience. Who knows, though? The playthrough is there, and you can decide for yourself if you'd like to get hold of Dungeon Scrawlers and give it a go. There are 10 maps in there, as I said. You've just seen 3 here. You've seen all of
you could even play along.
Yeah, you could. You've seen all of the elements, I think, though. They're combined in different ways, of course. But so like 3 is a bit earlier on. That's probably the first.
A lot of plants on that one.
Yeah,
as well.
Tons of plants there. That's probably the first appearance of the exits, the entry-exit points. But yeah, I think it is nice seeing some later maps, seeing how it does ramp things up. Especially like they might seem like little things, but
prisoners in that one.
In a 2-minute timer, it throws everything apart.
If you save the most prisoners, you get 3 extra.
Oh, right.
Points.
And you've only got 90 seconds to do that map.
And that's where you get the skeleton.
Oh, you've got to get into the keys to save the prisoners as well.
So
a point each.
Shut people out of getting prisoners, because if you get the purple one, blue one, I mean, there's things later on, like 2 in that one. Imagine how'd you get?
Nice.
You have to be so quick to get up there if you only got 90 seconds.
There is nice twists and turns in this, especially from like when you just play. Your starter game is like just take sheet 1 and just play a 1-round game of it. And sheet 1 is very basic, as you might expect. It's just using the spells, the treasures, the monsters. But yeah, as it adds all of these things in, it's really nice the things that it does with it. There's prisoners in that room. We should have played one of the prisoner ones, maybe. I just picked 3 random ones though that were portrait.
Going until somebody gets the pink orb.
Oh, there's 1 pink orb.
And there's 1 pink orb
behind a triple locked door, or behind a double locked door. And
if you go that way first, then you can't get the boss.
Oh yeah, because you need to do the thing in the room, or you ignore the room and take the point penalty.
Oh yeah.
But I suppose couldn't you go past it and then come back?
Yeah.
And do it, and that's okay. Whereas technically you're supposed to do things in the room when you go in there.
You would still get -1 point, but it would probably balance out.
But hey, that is Dungeon Scrawlers. Hopefully, our 3 levels here have given you an idea of what the final thing's like. Playthroughs are made possible thanks to the wonderful patrons at patreon.com/slickerdrips. You can join up if you like. Every little helps. Helping me to do this, basically. Help me to be here and learn all of these games and do them in video form. Or there is Ko-fi as well that I can't... Oh, I can reach it. There it is. Thank you so much to everyone for supporting us in various ways and for joining us for the playthroughs as well. Rach and I will be back next Friday, I think. The normal Friday slot, doing something. But yeah, check out social media for what we're going to be doing next time. There's early things on Patreon, all sorts of games, and there's like over 620 playthroughs on the channel at this point. Hopefully you find one that you really enjoy. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you very, very soon. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I haven't got the credits ready. So professional.
Rolling
Bye.
the credit.